Hey, everybody. Welcome. Come on in. Welcome. Welcome to Magnificent Monday. Come on in. I'll give you a few minutes to give everybody a chance to get on, but welcome. And if you just happen to be passing by, I want you to know that you are in the right place. This is Magnificent Monday with your brother, Dr. David Walker. And today is a phenomenal day. Today is a great day. And I'm here and we're on. And we're looking to have a great conversation today. Now, we are still celebrating this weekend. I know that even though today is Monday, it seems like the 4th of July holiday has even extended to today. There's some people who are off today. You're still celebrating. Some of you may be still barbecuing this morning, having a great time with family. But I want you to know that today is a magnificent day. It's Magnificent Monday. And as you know, we come on every Monday just to share some good conversation. And of course, Magnificent Monday comes after the weekend. Now, this weekend, as I said, may be just a little bit different because it was a holiday weekend and you had a good time. So I want to get into the conversation today. And yes, it's the 4th of July weekend. But as you know, it doesn't come without some controversy. Yeah, on July the 4th, 1776, America celebrated its Independence Day. And we know that there was a Declaration of Independence that was written and aligned what the founders and the framers said. They declared their independence from England, from Britain, and America considered itself a free country, a free nation, and it was written in the documents. And the Declaration of Independence of July 4, 1776, one line that was there said that we hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal. But we know, in fact, that on that particular day, at the reading of that declaration, it did not apply to everyone that was in America, because there were some people who were not free that day. They were not considered a part of the line that all men are created equal in that document, the Declaration of Independence. And as many of you know, on July the 5th, I think it was 1852. And as a matter of fact, I put this on my Facebook page. So after this conversation that we're going to have today, I want you to go there and take a look at it. On July the 5th, 1852, that well-known liberator and abolitionist Frederick Douglass, he wrote a speech. He was invited to give a speech. I'm not sure of the location, but he was invited to give a speech regarding the 4th of July. And he wrote this well-known, well-documented speech titled, "What to the Slave is the 4th of July? What to the slave is the 4th of July?" And I put it on my Facebook page. So after this, you can go to my Facebook page or you can come back and you can watch it. And the interesting thing is the speech is given by descendants of Frederick Douglass. His I guess it would be his great-great-great-grandchild, great-great-great-great nieces and nephews. They recited that speech. So they were descendants of Frederick Douglass. And I said, not all of us, or not many of us, can trace our ancestry back to slavery. I believe that I have. My son did a genealogy trace, and my father's name was Mallon. His father's name was William. Then his father's name was Thomas. And then we trace it back to our great-great-great-grandfather. His name was John Henry Walker. And the record indicates that he was enslaved. So not many of us are able to trace our ancestry back, but these young people, they were descendants of Frederick Douglass, and they recited his 4th of July speech. That's July the 5th he gave it, 1852. And I want you to after this, go and watch that video. Powerful young people, connecting to their history of a man who was born enslaved. Now I use the word enslaved because he was born and then he was enslaved. So, but Frederick Douglass is a great leader in American history, not just Black history. Now, I'm on today because, and those of you that are coming on, I want to just acknowledge some people. Of course, my lovely wife is on, Emmeline. I want to thank you for being on today. My mother, Shirley Walker, thank you for watching. My sister-in-law, Tasha Smith, is on. Thank you for watching. And anyone else that's on, I just want you to put a comment in the chat box or the comment box. Let me know that you're on so I can acknowledge you as I talk. All right. So what do I want to really talk about today? Although what I just said was important. Also, a couple of days ago on my Facebook page, I have this thing. I've been feeling this thing about, I know we're living in the time of great racial strife. Now, some people have said that they've never seen it before, and racism is greater today than it's ever been. That is not my belief. I don't understand how racism could ever be greater than prior to the 13th Amendment, when you had slavery. I don't know how racism could ever be greater than the failure of the Reconstruction of 1887 or 1877 maybe. I don't understand how racism could ever be greater than prior to the Jim Crow laws and the Civil Rights Movement. So while there is racism and there's racist people still alive, there's a lot of racial strife going on. There's no way that times today could be worse than what they were. My cousin is on, Tanya. Glad to see you. Thank you for coming on. So some people are trying to say that racism and racial strife is worse today than it's ever been, and that is not my position. But I do want to talk about what's going on because, as you know, we are in the Black Lives Matter movement, and there are some who are in, they're down, they're for it, they support it, and because of the impact and the power of the Black Lives Matter movement. And yes, there are some detractors. There are some who are calling it a negative group, anti-American group. Some have labeled it a terrorist group. But that comes with the territory. We're not going to worry about the detractors, but we're going to stand for justice. We're going to stand for what is right. We're going to stand for equal rights. And if you believe in the movement, support the movement. But I want to talk about something because good to see Felicia Carter on. Glad to see you this morning. But I want to talk about something that has been bothering me. And it's bothering me because in some ways, even though there's a lot of people who want to help Black lives and Black communities, and I'll talk about some of them in just a minute. Matter of fact, well, let me share with you now. There's my friend, Bishop David Alston. God bless you, brother, for being on. Let me just talk about some things now. Well, Nike has committed $100 million to the Black community. Netflix has committed $100 million to the Black community. PayPal announced, here we go, $530 million commitment to support Black businesses. and others are supporting Black banks and Black-owned businesses. And I think that is wonderful. I really, really think that is the right thing to do. Now, I want to just kind of deal with this, and then I'm going to come back to it. I wanted to say that where I was disturbed was this sense of what I consider a handout, right? What I consider this sense of people feeling that Black people need a handout. We're going to do for Black people because they can't make it for themselves. They're not able to figure things out, so we're going to help them. I know some people say that, Black people need allies. We need white allies. We need people to be on our side. And while I understand that sentiment, I would like to speak from the position of how I see things, and I'm labeling it, and I'm titling this message, I don't need a handout. Yes, I don't need a handout. Yeah, the other day I heard that, and I put this also on my Facebook page. I heard that, they want to put Black Lives Matter everywhere. They want to put, and this is what I wrote on my Facebook page. I said, I don't need a handout. Then I said, I don't need Black Lives Matter to be posted on every wall, every street. When the NBA gets restarted, they're talking about putting Black Lives Matter on the basketball court. I'm understanding that the NFL may be putting Black Lives Matter on the field. And I was saying that while I understand you putting it on certain places, and we've seen it in the streets of DC, I think New York is getting ready to put it on the streets of New York. But again, the NBA may be putting it on the court. NFL may be putting it on the field. I am under the understanding that the NFL, at every NFL game in the first week, they're going to sing the Black national anthem, which is Lift Every Voice and Sing. They're going to sing it at the beginning of every game in the first week of the season. So that's about 15 games. So in 15 stadiums, they're going to sing the Black national anthem, Lift Every Voice and Sing. And of course, we know that that is a great song. As a matter of fact, also on my Facebook page, I reposted Kirk Franklin singing it. He had a group of singers behind him. Outstanding rendition of Lift Every Voice and Sing. Also, the other night, CNN was doing a July 4th celebration, and they had CeCe Winans on there, and she was singing Lift Every Voice and Sing. And you can imagine with CeCe Winans singing it and Kirk Franklin and all those singers behind him, that it was an outstanding rendition of Lift Every Voice and Sing. And if you know anything about Lift Every Voice and Sing, I want you to write in the chat, Lift Every Voice and Sing, the Black National Anthem. Write that in the chat. Lift every voice and sing the Black National Anthem. Now, that being said, I don't need, and I wrote this on my Facebook page, I don't need the Black National Anthem to be sung at every football game, because to me, that's not the impact that I'm looking for, or that we're looking for, because I see it as a handout. I see it as a patronizing. While it may be a great thing to do, and while, I'm sure that they're going to have great singers and it's going to be excellent, but I don't need a handout. Now, I close my comments by saying, and I quoted one of America's great scholars, and his name is, wait for it, James Brown. Yes, one of America's great scholars, great writers, the legendary James Brown. He had a song, and I wrote this song down. Again, it's on my Facebook page. It's a part of I Don't Need a Handout. Here's what I said. And James Brown said, I don't want nobody to give me nothing, open up the door, and I'll get it myself. Let me say that again. These are not my words, but the great James Brown said, I don't want nobody to give me nothing. Just open up the door and I'll get it myself. And the reason why I love those words, because what James was saying in his, and you know, he was the godfather of soul. Yeah, I listen to James Brown. I'm sorry for those who don't, because I do. Say it loud, I'm black and I'm proud. What James was saying was, I don't need a handout. I don't need you to do something for me. Now, let me qualify all of this, because I know sometimes we get into debates as what is a handout? And, you know, there's some people who say, well, we need affirmative action. And then there are others who will argue we don't need affirmative action, because with affirmative action, it's almost like people just giving you something and you really didn't earn it. But I like to qualify all of that because I do believe that people need help. And I think there's a difference between helping and giving. I think it's a difference between not working for something and then someone giving you something. And of course, you may end up getting the same result, but I think there's a difference. Let me qualify my position. I am a young man. Yes, I am a young man, but I came from a community in Brooklyn, New York called Bedford-Stuyvesant. And that community, oftentimes you've heard me tell my story, how it was not a whole lot of inspiration or aspiration. Yeah, I saw drug violence, you know, gang violence, I should say, and drug deals on the corner. You know, one over in this particular area, you could see, you know, abandoned buildings and empty lots. So it was not a community that, you know, people aspired to be great. But I found my way. And I want you to know how I found my way. You know, I went to college, but my family did not pay for me to go to college. No one in my family could afford for me to go to college. But I went to college on financial aid, and I went to college on, there's a thing called Pell Grants back in that day. So, but they were government programs that assisted underprivileged students who wanted to get an education. So what I did was I used those programs to create my educational work. And of course, you know, I know some of you can see my wall behind me, and I don't say this to celebrate me, but I oftentimes, because it's 5 of them on the wall, I oftentimes use these as my, you know, if Kobe was still alive, he would say, I got 5 NBA rings. Michael Jordan holds up 6. He says, I got 6 NBA rings. See, what you see behind me, I hold up my 5 because those are my 5 championship rings on my wall. I don't say that to be braggadocious, egotistical, hubris, if I could use an advanced word, but I say that because they are my championships. They are my rings. And how did I get them? I got them, or I received them, because I got an opportunity to go to school to educate myself, and I used the assistance to advance my life and my career. And I think that when it comes to supporting the Black community, yes, I agree with the $10 million that Netflix is going to give. I agree with what PayPal is going to give, $530 million. I agree with Michael Jordan and Nike giving $100 million to the Black community, given to Black-owned banks and Black-owned businesses. I believe in that because I see these as helping us to get a foothold on the best of life and making something better of ourselves. So when James Brown said, don't give me nothing, when you give somebody a Pell Grant, that's not giving them anything. When you give somebody financial aid, that's not giving them anything. When you give someone, when you invest in the Black community, that's not giving them anything. That's not giving them a handout. But what it's doing is, as James said, it's opening up the door. That's right. When James said open up the door, what he was talking about was give me an opportunity. Don't close the door. Don't redline. Don't steer me into places that I don't want to go, but just open up the door. If you open the door, what I will do is I will take advantage of the opportunity. I want someone to write in the chat, I want you to say, if you give me an opportunity, I'll take advantage of it. If you open the door, I'll take advantage of it. That's right. Just open the door. And notice, and then here's the last part. He said, I'll get it myself. What does it mean, I'll get it myself? It means that if you give me, and I see my good friend, Pastor Michael Burns saying, it's a hand up. And that's exactly what it is. It's a hand up. Give me a hand up. Give me an opportunity. Let me just go back for a minute. You know, I don't care who you are. If you're going to go into business, you need, and especially if you don't have family members who have a bank account where they can give you tens of thousands of dollars to support your business, you're going to have to go to a bank, get a loan to help you to start a business, right? Everyone has done that. Whether you're white, whether you're Black, that is the way that most people are going to make a way or create a business or launch out into a business. They're going to get the opportunity from getting a loan, and then, but what the loan does, it's opening the door. It's opening the door for opportunity for you to take advantage. Now, when James said, I'll get it myself, all that means is if I just get an opportunity, then what I will do is I'll work hard. I'll take advantage of the opportunity. And my good friend, George Holloway is on. God bless you, brother. My brother, John Walker's on. God bless you. I'll take advantage of the opportunity and I'll make something of my life. And that's what I was trying to say. Obviously, in my own personal life, when I went to school, I took advantage. Someone gave me financial aid. Someone gave me a Pell Grant. And I took that Pell Grant and turned it into my 5 championships, my 5 trophies, and they're on my wall. That was because someone opened the door. Someone gave me an opportunity. So I wanted to come on today and I wanted to tell you, I don't need a handout. Listen, as a matter of fact, if the government gave you a stimulus check, that was not a handout. You should look at that stimulus check and take advantage of it. You should have used it to pay your employees if you had a business. You should have used it to help hold you over until things got better. And I know things are still challenging. Some of you may not have needed. Maybe you should have taken it and invested it. Just put it somewhere in an investment account, buy some stock. You could have taken advantage of what someone gave you an opportunity to do. So I'm of the premise that you should take advantage of every opportunity. And I want to close again with the words of the great legendary soul song, Father of Soul, James Brown. I don't need nobody to give me nothing. Just open up the door and I'll get it myself. If that's your anthem today, I want you to write in the chat, I'll do it myself. I'll get it myself. Write that. I'll get it myself. Don't give me nothing. Don't give me nothing. Open the door. I'll get it myself. Write it like that. Don't give me nothing. Open the door and I'll get it myself. that's what I wanted to share to you today. And as we, again, this is a magnificent Monday, and I want you to have a great week, have a great time, and all you need is an opportunity. But when you get that opportunity, take full advantage of it. God bless you, and we'll talk again next Monday. Take care.